As a high-value man, you need to know when to ignore a woman. As a bold and straightforward man with no time for games, understanding this will help you have more meaningful relationships. In this video, we'll discuss avoiding being a low-value man when dealing with women. A high-value man knows that his worth and value are not pegged on a woman's approval of who he is or should be. He is confident in his skin and never looks for a woman's validation. He stands up for what he believes in, and if a woman disapproves of what he has to offer or does not accept him, he will comfortably ignore the woman and move on.
Being available for a woman 24/7 and doing her every bidding is a classic sign of a man who is a woman pleaser and will do everything to keep her happy, even if it goes against his values and what he believes. A high-value man never defines himself by a woman and would never do anything just to please her. He is honest with himself and others, and if he senses that the woman is trying to control him, he will simply ignore her and move on because he has no time for games. When you know your value as a man, you will not beg for attention from a woman, even if she is not interested in you. A high-value man attracts and never chases. He does not wait for things to happen. He makes them happen. And if the woman he is interested in does not show any interest in him, he will ignore her and move on. He would rather be alone than beg for a woman's attention just to be with her.
One reason a high-value man ignores a woman is that he is more focused on taking care of his mind and body first. He gives 100% to whatever he does, and if he feels he still needs to work on his body to put his best foot forward, he will ignore the woman and work on himself first.
If a high-value man is busy taking care of his mind, he will ignore a woman because he always puts himself first and does not apologize. High-value men understand the importance of mental health, and if they believe that they need to work on their mental health first, they will put dating aside and ignore women until they're good and ready to date.
When a high-value man is busy building his own life and has no time to date, he will ignore a woman. A high-value man has a purpose and goals to achieve. He knows what he wants and how he wants it, and he does not let anything distract him. And if this means ignoring women and putting dating aside, he will do it.
A high-value man is emotionally intelligent and aware of his emotions, as well as other people's emotions. Due to this, he understands how important emotions and feelings are in developing a healthy relationship with a woman. If his feelings need some care and he does not want to burden a woman with them, he will ignore the woman and work on his feelings first.
If there are issues at work or with friends and family, then a high-value man will not want to bring this to a dating scene because he will not be in the right mindset to relate to a woman. He will therefore choose to ignore the woman and work through his issues. This will help him give the woman full attention when he finally decides to date.
A high-value man applies self-awareness in social situations and understands the social dynamics around him. When it comes to his friends, he values them because they are part of his support system. And being a high-value man, he gives 100% to everything, and if he's busy supporting a friend in a cause, he will not let his friend down and will confidently ignore a woman and help his friend finish the cause.
As an assertive man, a high-value man does not accept anything less than what he deserves, and this goes for the woman in his life too. He is very selective of the woman he dates and takes note of her values, habits, manners, behaviors, and how he carries herself. If he sees something he doesn't like, he will not hesitate to ignore her and look for the one he wants elsewhere.
Since he has healthy boundaries and is respectful of other people, if a high-value man finds out that a woman he is interested in is married, he will do the one right thing, which is to ignore her. He is not desperate and will not try to woo the woman to go out with him. He is a man who knows his worth, is confident, and believes he will attract the right available woman eventually. A high-value man has high self-esteem that is not built around other people and is confident about his strengths and worth. He's honest and doesn't have time to beat around the bush and play mind games with a woman. He will be honest and straightforward about what he wants and who he is. If the woman is not interested, he will ignore her and move on to the next one.
If a woman he is interested in is going through a crisis, a high-value man knows better than to approach her to be his girlfriend. He has the emotional maturity and respect to know that the woman needs space to deal with her issues first, and will respect that. Therefore, he will ignore her and give her time to sort herself out first.
A high-value man is confident in his abilities to attract the women he wants at the right moment. He does not get clingy, needy, or anxious, and instead waits to attract the woman. He understands that women thrive on attention and want to feel desired, loved, and appreciated. So when he ignores her, it sends a message to the woman that he finds her irresistible. The woman will then instinctively start pursuing him.
Women are known to be intuitive beings and can tell when a man is interested in her. A low-value man will immediately accept the advances of such a woman without thinking twice and even forgo something he was working on. A high-value man is a busy man and has a lot of passion projects he is working on. He knows how to prioritize and will work on what's most important to him at the moment. For this reason, he will ignore the advances of such a woman and will not be open to dating until he is ready.
A high-value man is not afraid to be alone. Since he is driven by ambition and has set for himself goals which he wants to achieve to better his life, a high-value man never has time for meaningless flirting and relationships that are empty and have no direction. And this is what will lead him to ignore a woman. He's focused on creating a life he is proud of and making things happen, and is comfortable doing all this alone without a woman by his side.
A high-value man is bold and direct. He does not have time to play games or hard to get. If he sees a woman he likes, he will go directly to her and be open and honest about what he wants while exuding an air of confidence. And if the woman is not responsive to him, he will simply ignore her and concentrate on something else. He does not worry about being single and is more than content going through life as a single man.
When a woman disrespects a high-value man, he will not hesitate to ignore her and move on. A high-value man holds respect highly and does not take disrespect lightly, because if you let it slide once, it will happen again. He will therefore ignore and avoid a woman who disrespects him with abandon.
A high-value man sets boundaries and does not allow anyone to cross them without consequences. It therefore follows that if a woman crosses the boundaries he has set over and over, then he will choose to ignore her because she has shown him disrespect. A high-value man respects other people's boundaries, and he expects the same from those he relates with, including the woman he is dating.
Social skills are something a high-value man has mastered, and he knows the difference between what's fair and what's not, what's friendly and what's rude. For this reason, if a woman is attracted to him at a time in his life when his purpose has nothing to do with dating, he will ignore the woman and remain focused on his purpose without being distracted by women and dating. A low-value man will get into a relationship and tag the woman along, even when he knows very well that he is not planning to stick around, or worse, he is planning to sleep around. A high-value man will not get into a relationship or promise endless love to a woman when he knows that he is not planning to stick around. Instead, he will ignore or face her with the truth, and in this way, save her from pain and heartache, even if she cried and suffered. It is clear that high-value men can have valid reasons to avoid women, and women will do well to understand this so as not to take things personally when they are avoided.
If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and check out our other self-development videos. Thanks for watching.